Man, thanks, man, for having me.
Right on.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate you.
And I'm a member of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. Hey. Oh, man, so awesome.
To show you.
I look good.
Hey, I'm just loving that you have the shirt today. Like, this is just amazing. Like, you just got me at the door.
We all need money.
What up, everybody? It is your host, J5 from the Block Podcast, where we focus on entrepreneurial growth as well as social issues and injustices that surround the urban community, bringing to you real-life experience for the advancement of business development. Now, of course, I got to show love to my guys over at ROI Health and Safety, so let's get it. Whether it be business or personal, you need professionals that can supply you with all your personal protection equipment. So when it comes time to have masks, gloves, hand sanitizer, or reliable disinfectants for the studio to keep me and my guests safe, I know ROI Marketing and Safety have got me and my guests covered. So log on to www.roippe.com or drop them an email at sales@roippe.com and let them keep you and yours safe. Okay, let's step out on the block. Today's guest is a hip-hop artist right here from Indianapolis, Indiana. And he's taken sort of a different approach to hip-hop. Maybe an unconventional means, if you want to say. He's had his music cast on ABC News, Hulu, Jersey Shore, MTV, and Disney, along with Hulu, Italia Scam, and others. And I wanted to speak with him about why he took this approach with his music and trying to get it out there, because it's a little unconventional and it's a little different. But I wanted to know why he chose this, and is it effective? So, today's guest, I really do want to tell you who he is, and I will. But first, look, I'm going to need dead silence. Welcome to the Block Podcast, brother.
Appreciate you.
Much love, man.
Much love.
It's a pleasure to have you, my man. Pleasure to have you, man. You're the first hip-hop artist on the Block Podcast.
Right on. It's
But,
a pleasure.
like I say, you can't have the Block without entertainment.
Thanks.
I don't care what kind of entertainment it is, but the Block breeds it. You know what I mean? And music is number one on that entertainment list.
That's
you know what I
fact.
mean? And you do good at it, my man.
Appreciate
You do
it.
good at it. Ain't no problem, man. No problem at all, brother. So tell the people, man, who you are, man, what you do, and how you get down, man.
For sure. Dead Silence. Started off as a poet, transitioned to a battle rapper, transitioned to a hip-hop artist. And it just slowly crept up in the game and been studying, taking notes. Started writing about, I'm on my 18th year now as far as when I first started writing. And developed some equipment, some progression. Then about 2 years ago, I finally got into the licensing industry. So that involves movies, TV shows, commercials, ads, and the music that goes behind that on a national scale, on a local scale, global scale. And finally about a year ago, I started seeing the fruits of my labor. So literally 17 consistent years of work. And I finally got my first placement, TV placement. And
Wow.
yeah. I'm still keeping the ball rolling, still making moves, and yeah, it's only the beginning.
Okay. Well, that knocked out the first question because I was gonna ask you how long you been doing it.
Yeah.
You've been going for a while.
Yeah, so first started writing about
How old are you
17
now?
years.
How old are you now?
I'm on 26. Yeah.
Man, boy, yeah, you started early.
Yeah. I sure did.
See, I used to flow back in the day,
Nice.
and as a matter of fact, the cat you just met, I used to do commercials for Hoosier 96 back in the
Nice.
day.
Sure.
I used to flow.
Okay.
So I mean, but I didn't start like you did. You started young. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I did it because, to be honest, I did it because every time we was in the car and and they'd be flowing in the cipher and they get to me and they had to skip over me because I couldn't flow it. And I just got tired of it, man.
You
And I
was
was
like,
like,
"No, I'ma
man,
step up
hold
to the
on,
plate."
Wait a minute, man. I got to do something.
I feel that.
So that's how I just taught myself, and I was like, man, I got to do something. You know what I mean?
Okay, for
But
sure.
yeah, you know what I mean. But I never did battle rap. Now you started as a battle rap. Okay.
Yeah,
Now I
yeah.
want to know, like, because I know, I never battle rap, but I know what it is, and
Yeah.
I know what it consists of,
Yeah.
and I know that because of the nature of it, you trying to beat the other person, then 98% of what's going to come out of your mouth is going to be negative.
That's true.
Because you're trying to break this individual
Yeah.
down. That's just
Yeah.
that's the nature of it. That's what
Yeah.
you're trying to do. So, and I listen to your music now though,
Yeah.
and it's a positive vibe.
Yeah, it's like the
So
opposite.
my question is, man, how was you able to take and switch from that I'm gonna kill you, take you completely out
Yeah.
the game to, man, I got love and I want to show this.
It was approaching creativity in a different ways. So
Okay.
before I started putting music out professionally, that as of like 3.5 years ago to 4 years ago, but before then, I would always incorporate music with bars.
Okay.
So I would always have like one of my OGs called me a bardist, and I'm like,
bardist?
Yeah, what do you mean a bardist? And he's like, you don't really approach music from a concept standpoint. You
Okay.
just you put bars inside your music and you just connect bar, then you have a record. Instead of laying a concept down and you expand on the concept lyrically. So when he said bardist, that literally was like a light bulb in my head. And I'm like, okay, let me try making music with actual concepts. And then that's when you see the switch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cause see, now I'm gonna put this out here and see if this is what you're speaking of when you say bar by bar.
Yeah.
Because I've heard that some trap music, and I don't know if this might have been early on in trap, but they said that they would just hit record, and the artist would just keep going. Even if they mess up, they just stop 1 minute, pause, and keep going. And then the producer in post takes this little chunk, that little chunk, this little chunk, and he puts it all together. And then boom, you have
like a record.
yeah.
Yeah.
So is that kind of what you mean by bar or no?
So I mean like actual bars, like so saying a bar would be like
Oh, feel free, bro.
I say I'm finally here at last. Shout out to the homie that's running the Block podcast.
Okay.
Boom. So that would be a bar.
Okay.
And then connecting another bar with the other bar.
Okay.
So it's like literally bar after bar instead of saying, you know what, here's a concept. And
We're gonna talk about the Block
Yeah,
podcast.
exactly. Like actually
And then-
talking about something instead of just connecting different bars with different bars
I
in the
got
song.
you. I got you. Add a little bit more meaning.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Because
All
if
right.
I just
I'm with you.
put bars with bars, it ain't got to mean nothing.
Okay. Yeah. Exactly. Okay. All right. Cool. Now, because I'm not too familiar with the battle rap scene here, in Indy. Is it a big scene? Is it? I don't.
So honestly, it ain't big.
Because I remember like a
but-
couple of years ago, I think.
Yeah.
It was a studio. I think on the right up off of 69. I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah,
But I think
yeah.
they had a thing where they would host something like that. But I wasn't in on it. But
I think you're talking about Showroom Studios.
it's right off of
think
69. I know
on
that, like
Hardin Street.
64th or something.
So that's when they first started doing battle raps, and it first started over there at the studios, and it just, how should I say it? At first it was real intimate. There wasn't a lot of people showing up, but then after like the first couple of, I would say after the first two battles, then we had to transition from that spot to a different spot, and then eventually it got big to the point where they transitioned to Fountain Square, and we had like an actual venue, because now we got like a good amount of folks showing up.
Okay, now where's the venue? I'm pretty sure I know what you're talking about.
White Rabbit. Yeah, that was White Rabbit in Fountain Square.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. Yeah, I'm familiar with that. Okay. Now I want to know what's your take on independent versus label?
I was just looking at that video with Nora. Yeah.
I think each of them have their own,
True.
their pros and cons.
True.
And me personally, I think it's up to the individual artist and what they are trying to get out of it. If they want that quick, I gotta get this money up front.
True.
Then they shoot for that label. If they are, if they're real conscious about their lyrics and what they put out, then they're gonna more sing towards the independent. So
Yeah. I agree with everything that was said in that video. He said something along the lines of, just like what you said, if you really care about like ownership in general, stay independent. And a lot of things that was done back in the day, you really have access to it now.
Right.
Like as far as digital distribution, independents have access to that.
Right.
As far as marketing, different marketing, unique strategies to push your brand out globally, internationally, locally. You could do that independent. There's a lot of things that
there's a lot of things are a lot different now than it was back when I was younger,
to where you had to be signed to get
Yeah.
that. But
Yeah.
now you ain't gotta be signed. But it's just like you said, it's chess and checkers.
Right.
So I find it unique when people are independent and major. Because there's a good amount of folks that have deals, but they split it up. Like, all right, I'm going to give you these amount of tracks, but I'm going to keep these tracks.
For myself.
Yeah, exactly. And I ain't going to lie. I mean, just keep it real with you. That's the situation I'm in.
Okay.
But I wouldn't call it a situation because that's how I wanted to approach it.
Right,
So
right.
I wanted to play chess and checkers with the industry.
Okay. Yeah, because we're gonna get into how you've been able to do it, because that's the reason why I wanted to have you on, because I thought that approach was unique, the way that you take.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I've been around hip hop in Indianapolis for years, and I've never really ran across anyone that was their aim.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, maybe somebody that situation might have bumped into them, and they were like, yeah, okay, I'll do it. You know what I mean? But for you specifically aim for that.
Yeah.
And that's the reason I wanted to know why.
Oh, yeah.
And how you go about it. You know what I mean? How has battle rap helped you transition into the written artist that you are?
That's a good one. I like that. Okay, making me think.
I gotta do my homework, man.
It helped me from, I say, a networking standpoint. So it wasn't until like right before battle rap, and I literally set out like a network schedule, and I would put, I want to go to 2 events every weekend in the city, regardless, and just see who's who, chop it up.
Okay.
And it wasn't until battle rap that's when I performed, and it was a significant amount of folks just
Right.
being pushed up on me after a show, and yo, where can I find you? What you doing next time? What about this? What about that? Yeah, and then that's when it hit me, like, oh, they want more. The next show they want more. So it hit me that I need to always be thinking about my next move, but from my perspective though. So I can't let people determine the pace, but I know that people are always looking.
I like that.
So always having content.
I like that.
And I would say networking, as far as you just never know who's watching you.
Exactly.
Yeah. Shout out to Congressman, but I never forget. I randomly ran into the Congressman Andre Carson.
Under your costume. Yeah.
And he was just chilling, me and my homie, we like, man, he seems like a cool dude. Like, he's just chilling, like he not a congressman.
No, he's just a regular dude.
Yeah, so we convinced him, and he was like, all right, I'll check it out. And then after the battle rap, he was like, yo, I gotta follow you, keep me up to date. I'm like, yo, this is the congressman. I'm cool with the congressman. I had to flex with the homies. Cool with the congressman. So yeah, hey, you never know who's watching, and you never know who you could convince to just let you know what's good about you.
Exactly.
So always connect and network.
What are some of your bigger influencers in hip hop?
Oh, so this may sound weird, but I don't have no idols. I never forget when I first started writing, I was listening to Outkast.
Oh yeah.
And the idea hit me, I had a notepad and there was just a pencil. And my idea was, they can do this, why can't I do it? So it's not really an idle thing, but it was like I challenged myself to do what they doing.
Okay.
And first time I wrote, it was like a love language. I was like, yeah, this is it. But I had no idea that one simple idea could, translate to everything that I've done now. So,
Well, yeah. If you know what I'm saying, if it's something that you have a passion for,
yeah,
and you just like I said, man, I tell people consistency.
yeah.
I'm not saying that that every step might not even be, you know what I mean, a step up. It just may be a step over sometime. It happen like that, but you're making a step.
Exactly. You're
You know what I
doing
mean?
something.
It's something.
Yeah.
And I always tell people, man, consistency. I like the podcast.
Yeah.
I'm not in a position at this moment in time to put out a show every week. You know what I mean? My life is not able to do that at this moment in time. Well, you speak to some people and they say, well, you're not going to make it. If you can't consistently you're not going to make it. Well, okay, but if I don't do it at all, then I'm definitely not going to make it.
Exactly.
But
and that's
if I
your
at least
timing,
keep
though.
trying.
Yeah, exactly. It's your timing.
Then I'll make it. So hopefully. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? So it's just consistency. And I tell people, just keep putting the work in.
Exactly.
You know what I mean, just keep putting the work in, man. Just like you said, now you finally seeing some fruit.
And
know?
and I tell people all the time, like last year, I always told people 17 years.
Yeah.
Like, because a lot of people just see, oh, poof.
Yeah.
And it's like, nah,
Yeah.
y'all don't see everything that went on in the back end.
Yeah,
Along
exactly.
to. So yeah, this.
Yeah. Okay. I want to know, have you ever thought about leaving that for your
have.
music?
Oh yeah. Plenty of times.
Why not? Why? Because
So-
I've heard you say
Yeah.
that you specifically stay here because this is where you want to make it.
So
Why? Why not? Why did you say give up on leaving? And
So, entertainment wise, it's wise that people study what they are really in or where they reside at. So, you have big market cities when it comes to entertainment, like the New Yorks, you know, the Calis, the Texas, the cities, ATL. And you got like medium markets, then you got real small markets where it's not really known for entertainment to go outside of that specific area. So places like, just saying, Indianapolis, and I got love for Naptown.
Right.
Places like states like Maine.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
like what comes out of Maine? No disrespect to Maine. You know what I'm saying? Love y'all, but I mean just to study what's going on entertainment wise.
Right.
And what makes it out entertainment wise too. So people just need to be aware overall. And it's not to see it as a good and bad, but just recognize where you at. So
Right.
yeah, plenty of times I was like, this ain't cutting it. I got to do this. I got to do that. But it hit me like, it's okay to stay where you at and still make moves
Right.
outside of where you at.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, it's powerful.
Yeah, I mean, cause see, back in the day, you because you didn't have all the stuff that you have,
technology,
that you have now, and like you said, independent artists can almost do what a label can do for themselves now.
Facts.
But you didn't have that then, and you almost didn't have a choice if you were here in Indianapolis and you wanted to do something with music. If you didn't hit the highway, well, you was just playing for your buddies. You know what I mean? That's pretty much how it was. And as a matter of fact, I was just speaking to my buddy about that, about how, I look back on it now and I didn't take it serious. But I was good at what I did, but I didn't take it serious. And, and knowing that my partner was about business, because he wanted to manage me. And so, like I was telling him, I said, man, at any time, what I'm saying, if I would have just said, man, look, Bone Thugs is going to be in Cleveland, man, on such, man, can you drive me up there, bro?
Yeah.
And he would have been like, let's go.
Yeah, for sure.
But I just didn't take the initiative, man. I didn't want to, put in the work to do it. You know what I
feel
mean?
that.
And I look back on it now, I regret that. You know what I mean? But it is what it is, and life is what it is. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, man, let's jump off into, man, your approach to your marketing. What
Deep.
first of the bat, what made you even think on those levels as to, because what I know is you write,
Yeah.
you record, you do shows.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm sorry. You write, you record, you do video, you do shows. But that's it. That's how you do it. You know what I mean? And that's conventional. That's how most people do it. You know what I mean? I gotta write my jam. I gotta get in the studio to lay this down. I get my video so they can see it, and then I gotta start doing these shows. I gotta start getting these concerts. You know what I mean? But you chose a complete different back door.
Yeah.
Like you just like stepped outside of the building and was like, I'm not going in that door. I'm gonna go around this way and see what's happening.
Yeah.
And you found something.
Yeah.
What made you go think of that? What?
So I be having these creative sparks.
Okay.
Like, why do people keep doing what they do? And why a majority of people ain't satisfied when it comes to what they do? Like, why are they disappointed? It randomly hit me one day, like, I'm getting tired of just dropping music, promoting every now and then, taking a break, dropping music, promoting every now and then, taking a break, dropping music. And I took a listen to my music, and I had to like reevaluate, okay, what am I gonna do that's different? And one of the records I had, I was like, you know what, I can see that in the back of like TV shows and movies. And then it hit me. I'm like, wait, has anybody any musicians that? So I took advantage of that, and I just
You saw
studied.
the road less traveled.
Yeah, and I studied it, and the more that I thought about it, I don't know any artist in this city that's taken the sync licensing industry route. So before I even knew what sync licensing industry was,
Yeah, explain that. I don't even know because I don't even know what that is.
yeah, for sure. So when it comes to the music behind movies, the music behind commercials, ads, TV shows, jingles, that's the sync licensing industry that's putting the music behind
And you're
the
saying
entertainment
sync,
aspect.
As
Yeah.
in synchronized?
Yep,
Okay.
sync licensing industry.
Okay.
And I just studied that detail. Like, okay, let me see what this is. Let me see what the industry is. Let me see if I can get some contacts. And I stuck that idea in my head. This was about like 5 years ago.
Okay.
And just constantly taking notes. Then one of my homies hit me up. He was like, yo, I tried to get into it. Didn't have any success. And he had this huge list of contacts. And I said, you know what? I'm going to take a stab at it. So I literally sent 244 emails in 2 days. The whole contact list. And keep in mind, some of these contacts that was on this thing dated back to 2019. And this was...
Right. So they might not even be.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was like,
But I'm going to send it anyway.
Exactly. And this was... The contact list was dated back to early 2019. This was later on in 2019 when I got the list. Okay. So as I'm sending these emails, I'm getting emails back on my phone. Email invalid.
That's move to the next one.
Yeah, exactly. So some of them haven't updated, but I saw it from a perspective as it's not a waste of time. I'm gonna just shoot my shot.
Right.
And technically,
something come back, then hey.
Exactly. And I didn't know, even Forbes documented 60% of emails go read. Even though you don't know that people read your email. So you never know.
Right.
So I saw it as a point of opportunity. And out of 244, 4 of them got back to me. And I said, wow, little old me out of Indianapolis. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And yeah, boom. So that's, ever since that point, I've just been constantly doing research.
Okay.
Yeah, because most of the people, when it come to research, they gonna manipulate it instead of give you the raw truth. So,
right.
Yeah, that's why recently I hosted a music conference. Like, hey, I'm gonna just give y'all the raw, uncut version.
Have you shot your music to Empire?
Nah, I haven't. But I got some.
You remember that's an ongoing show. They always need artists.
True. But I do got the people in the lane that could,
Okay. All right.
If it happens, they'll hit me up. Woo.
Okay. Now, your latest song, Hollywood.
Yes, sir.
That's my jam.
Right
That's
on,
my
Jay.
jam.
Appreciate that.
That's
right
on me.
Right on.
Man, where did that come from? What inspired that song?
Roses. So when people get their roses, like celebrations, like something great happens in your life, do you give yourself your roses? Like, do you give yourself a congrats? Because so many people, and this is so common when it comes to creatives, just in general, so many entrepreneurs, they get caught up in the hype of starting when it comes to blowing up because they expect all of this hype from the love that they get to carry them on, but they forget to show themselves love. And then they wonder why they don't appreciate their goals or their destination as much as they should. So they get caught up in all of this hype that they expect to receive, but they forget to give to themselves. Be proud of you. And that's why in the cover art, in the cover art, I'm toasting to myself looking in the mirror.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm just looking out the window with Hollywood in the background. So yeah.
So this is to
Yeah,
me.
toast to me. Like
Okay.
I'm proud of me.
Man, okay. Yeah, you just, okay, look, I'm about to go have a glass of champagne. Oh, damn self. Man. Okay, man. Now, here's a question, man, and I've always wondered this. And I still can't figure it out for the simple fact that even, and I'm 51.
Yeah.
So we talking, I taught myself how to flow 93, maybe 92, 93.
Yeah.
And at that time, I remember standing next to cats in the studio and I consider myself cold.
Yeah.
But I remember standing next to cats and going,
you like
"Oh,
this.
that's it.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Like, here's the star. Like, this is gonna be the Eminem. This is gonna be, you know what I mean, the Kanye. This is, you know what I mean, the Common. You know what I mean. This is gonna be our, you know, Eminem. You know.
Yeah.
And still here we are. And there's no Eminem, there's no Kanye, there's no Common, you know what I'm
feel
saying?
that.
There's no Bone Thugs and Harmony. And all these individuals I just named are right around you. They're all the way around. I just
Exactly.
covered a complete circle
Yep.
around, except for Kentucky, because
the Midwest.
there's only like Jack Harlow out of Kentucky right now. So, but
The whole Midwest, though, you're right.
yeah,
Yeah.
except here. So why do you think that is, man? Because I couldn't figure it out.
So I got into an interesting conversation. This involves shout out to Fresh Does It. So Fresh Does It is a producer. He's been making so many moves locally, nationally. You know, give roses to him. His big break finally happened. I think he has a deal with Sony as a producer. He's produced for a solid amount of like new upcoming rappers that have finally, you know, got that final edge. You feel what I'm saying? So. PR, public relations, and I had a conversation about PR, and I'm like, why don't companies reach out to creatives when it comes to them making great moves and say, you know what, we're going to publish this even more for you, from a local standpoint, from a national standpoint.
And see, I thought, you know, if I was, I looked at it from a Bad Boy, a Puffy, Jay-Z or Dr. Dre, you know what I'm saying? Cats with labels, you know what I mean? Big labels. And I thought, if I was one of them, I wouldn't want to be the one to say, I went into Indianapolis, Indiana, and I found the star. You know what I mean? I would want to be that. I would want to be to claim that, to say, you know what I mean?
Okay.
That I went into to where there's not a huge star, and I was the first one to find that. Like gold mining. Like I was the first one to hit that mine.
Got you.
You know, that's how I think, but apparently that's not the case.
You hit the nail on the head. Foundation.
Okay.
Where is the foundation when it comes to success? Like a common ground when it comes to success that's even across the whole playing field when it comes to entertainment. And we really don't have that in Indianapolis. Okay. So you have like individuals, you got a solid amount of individuals, like, they got plaques, they're going platinum when it comes to producing, they got this, they got that. But as far as everybody understanding a formula to success, we don't have that. Like you have individuals scattered around that have gone out, that have bust moves, that have made other moves, that have moved out.
Yeah.
And then they say, okay, cool, I got it. Oh yeah, I'm from the city, but I've done this, I've done this, I've done that. So there's not a lot of people willing to go into this city and say, you know what, I'm gonna pick somebody up and then we gonna, build.
Yeah.
Because we have yet to have that equal amount of foundation when it comes to success.
Man. See, I just, like I said, I've heard, I've been around hip hop for a long time, and I've heard cats, man, that will take some of the major artists out the game.
I feel you.
But and that's not even an exaggeration. I'm being dead serious. To where I would put them up against, Jay, and let's see what happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I could never understand, man. I just, because I'm looking at the talent and I'm thinking, well, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe I don't know talent.
But it's the business aspect though, and that's something that slapped me in the face. My first day, again, introduced to the industry. I would say 5 to 10%. Okay, it's about creativity. It's about what you could bring to the table, of course. But that other 95 to 90%, that's all business.
Yeah.
And so many creatives, they're afraid to go into the deep end of the business, or they're not willing to invest a significant amount of time in the business.
Okay.
On top of financially investing in what you should do in order to, achieve or get certain things. So that's a whole nother roadblock, creativity and business is a whole different sector.
Yeah. And so, see, even when you say that, I totally understand exactly where you're coming from with that, because even with the podcast, I had to really like get on myself and say, hey man, look, we got to focus on the business side of this, because And I read, that, I can't remember, it was the E-Myth. And he breaks it down to where, there's the worker, the manager, and then there's the owner. Okay. And those are 3 different people. Those are 3 different mind states.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
True.
And, but the worker can be the owner. You know what I mean? But he's got to change his mind, because the worker, all he knows is getting things done.
Exactly.
Physically.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I got to record this show. You know what I mean? I got to get these cameras. You know what I mean? I got to make sure I got to write the content. You know what I mean? Okay. Boom. But what about, trying to find a sponsor?
Exact ownership.
You see what I'm saying? Things like that. And I've been a builder my whole life. And so I don't, the business side is, I can't, it's not to the point I can't understand it. You know what I mean? I can learn it. You know what I mean? It's just the point that habit-wise, this is what I know, is to be a builder. You know what I mean? Not the CEO. Exactly. And so I have to transform my mind and say, hold up, John, wait a minute, wait. We got to get out of that. And we got to transition over into this business, because if not, we're not going to make it.
But I don't blame a lot of folks for not venturing into the business side, because the business side is overwhelming.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? You finally see all the costs of what it really takes. And that's a whole nother ballpark. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, hey, I don't blame a lot of people for dodging the business side, even though it'll better you off. But I mean, that's a lot of information.
It is. It is a lot, man. And, like I said, I pretty much, for about 6 months, you know what I mean? That's all I did, was just get equipment and learn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What you know what I mean? What about this on the podcast? What about that on the podcast? What do I do with this one? You know what I mean? And basically, but most of that was building the podcast, not running
Exactly.
the podcast.
Exactly.
Two different things. You know what I mean? And like I said, yeah, I did, really, man, go hard on myself and make myself be like, John, look, this is what you need to do today. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's get on it. You know what I mean? And like you said, yeah, sometimes, man, I'm just like, oh, come on.
Yeah, I feel you on that. I
come
feel you.
on.
I feel
But
you.
it has to be done. You know what I mean? And that's the same as what you've been able to do with your music as far as getting it on the platforms of which you've been able to put them on. That was the business.
Yeah.
That wasn't the worker.
Exactly.
The worker was in the studio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to switch that mindset.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's, you know what I mean? That was one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on here, man, because like I said, I haven't seen a lot of artists here do that. You know,
That's real.
To come with that. And I found it interesting. Intelligent, but interesting. And I was like, I want to know what made this guy go that route. I mean, I think it's ingenious, but I just wondered why, because I wouldn't have thought of it, honestly. It just wouldn't have, I don't think it would have clicked in my mind, to go that route. My route would have been, my mind state would have been more, how can I get physically in front of people?
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah.
And not thinking that, it doesn't matter if I'm physically there or not, as long as I'm in front of people.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
I feel that.
And you figured that out. You was like, well, hold on, I don't necessarily have to be on every stage.
Yeah.
I can do this, and then I will be on every stage. And I don't think my mind would have went there. My mind would have been more focused on, can I find this show in Atlanta? Can I do this show in Florida? Can I do this show in Miami? You know what I'm saying? How can I get to New York? You know what I mean?
I feel that.
Trying to travel and do this versus using what we have now and utilizing it. And you've been able to do it.
Man, I appreciate it.
And man, I'm not, man, when you put that Jersey Shore up, man, I was like,
yeah.
I had to keep rewinding that because I had to make sure. I said, hold on, is that really him? Is that his song? And I was like, oh my gosh, dude did that.
Yeah, I'll make sure I put the link.
But how did that feel, man?
Man, that was crazy. I remember waking up. Yeah, I remember waking up. It was a couple days ago. From the day when I first posted that, and I got an email. So quarterly, I get emails, and people from like BMI, they would let me know, hey, your record is on this TV show.
Okay.
This specific episode, and they sent me the whole thing. So yeah, I got the email, and I'm like, man, y'all lying, bro. Y'all lying. Hey, I'm like, man, stop lying. But I check it out, and yeah, it was an instrumental. It was an instrumental of one of my records, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah. And
Yes.
see, I just and I was telling someone about it, and what I use as a reference is an artist by the name of Dakar. He has a song called "The Hell and Back," and this guy, the reason why I even knew anything about him is I'm sitting on the couch and I'm watching football, the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And commercial comes on, NFL store commercial.
Yeah.
And I hear this song and I'm like,
Exactly, yeah.
Man,
And that's the
like,
sync
what is
license.
that?
That's the sync licensing industry.
And I
music.
said, man, what is that? And I immediately went on to YouTube and put NFL store song.
Yep.
And boom,
Boom.
here he was.
Yeah.
And here's the trick to that. If you go onto his YouTube page on that song, okay, and you look in the comments, almost 70% of them comments have NFL in it. They all say that I can't believe the NFL commercial brought me here. I can't believe the
Yep.
NFL store commercial
Exactly.
brought me here. I can't believe
Yeah.
listening to the NFL brought me here.
They'll let you know.
That lets you know, you know what I mean, that this works. It works, you know what I mean? And you've been able to do it, man, and that's incredible.
I appreciate that.
Because, like I said, that let me see physical evidence.
Yeah.
That what you have been able to do, with the path that you're on, it works. And it works well because this kid went from, when I looked it up that day, the song was, I think, maybe 500,000 he already had.
I bet he had like $1 million now.
He's
over
at,
$1 million.
No, he's almost 6 million.
Yep, that's how it is. And you'll keep on seeing the comments too.
When was the
NFL.
Super Bowl? When was the Super Bowl?
It was like what, February? Oh yeah,
So less than a month.
yeah. That's gonna keep on building.
He done got 4 million, 5 million views in less than a month, just because of that. Just because of that one commercial.
All it takes is one time.
Yeah, and that, you know what I mean, and man, and that's I said, man, this dude is on something. You were on something, man. Don't stop, bro. You on something.
I'll be having my moments. It's because man, it's so tiring. So like, and I would just be like fully transparent. So like, my goal is to literally like bridge the gap. And this, man, I thought about this years ago, but I wanted to collab with a good amount of artists just in general. So I've collabed with about a little over 20, 25 artists just locally.
Okay.
I wanted to bridge the gap between like the national moves and the local scene.
Okay.
So the number one thing that's upsets me, just to keep it real, is so many people don't work on your type of time.
Okay.
So when people hit me up, and I got crazy news, it was the music supervisor for the show Power. People let me know, hey, yo, he like one of your records on, you know, woo, woo, woo. And I'm like,
Yes, sir.
I'm in there. You know what I'm saying?
Here we go.
But so I celebrated, and then business side kicks in. All right, I got to go back to the people that I made, you know, this specific project with.
Right.
Now y'all got to be on my type of time and my type of pace, because I got national people,
Exactly.
executives on the other end, like boom, boom. You know
Now
where
it's
it's
time to
at.
step up.
So and that's the lag. The Midwest isn't really known for being a fast pace as much as New York. You feel what I'm saying?
yeah.
So when people let me know, it's got to wait. I'm like, hey, I understand priorities first, but I understand that the opportunity could pass me up.
Yeah.
In which it did, real talk. So there's a lot that I take to the chin that I really don't talk about.
Right.
Just in general. And that's just a part of, you know, wins with the losses.
Okay. What I mean, beside that, what are some of the sacrifices that you've, you know, had to that this game has taken?
Man, I done had people drop like left and right. I'm talking about people that claim they're solid with me, call me friend, you know, call me fam. You know, claim we good. Nah. They drop or show like they true colors, and it's they see me as just an idea, not human.
Okay.
Yeah, and I can peep a lot of games, so yeah, I distance myself a lot of times. I appreciate the genuine love, but a lot of the love shown ain't genuine. It ain't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How is, you know, being a hip hop artist, you know, how has that benefited you?
I'm able to express my mind. One of the main reasons why I love music, I don't really vent a lot. So
Music is your way out.
yeah, and the beautiful thing about music, like you can vent to music, but music doesn't emotionally respond back to you. It's like a
This is
blank
true.
canvas.
This is true.
So
Very true.
I'm able to say whatever, do whatever, and just put it out. This idea turns into real life, and then I can make this real life idea, you know, be in the movies.
Man.
So it's beautiful. So it helps me by releasing, but I say, as far as like some of the love that I get, yeah, it's a little sideways sometimes, but I can't act like it's that way all the time, because a lot of folks like genuinely show love. So.
Right. Hey, I mean, is there anyone, you know, close to you that kind of disappointed you, that maybe you thought?
Oh yeah. My first time.
You know, tell us about that.
The first time, and I ain't gonna lie, it traumatized me, but when I was first recording music, I had a little janky setup. It was cheap. And recorded a couple of things, and I ain't tell my fam that I started recording. So I never forget, is my mom. I love you, mom, but she randomly, and I didn't know while I was at school at the time, she heard one of my records. Man, I was cussing like a sailor. She was like, boy, what you know about all the words? You better delete that. And I'm like, So I developed this notion that, like, so they only like music if there's no cussing in it. There's boundaries to my creativity. So I sort of pushed a lot of people to the side because I didn't know how people would judge that.
Right.
And I was real concerned with like how people judge me at the time. And that was really like my main push because at that point I learned real early in life I can only be my only fan. If I know I'm nice, why not be a fan of me?
Exactly.
Man, my self-confidence, it was just a whole boost. Like, okay, I'm in it for me. What's next?
Okay. Now you had mentioned a mentor that kind of didn't give you the feedback you thought was gonna come, I guess. What
I'm
was that?
glad. I'm so glad he said that. Shout out to Amani Trey Niner. So at the time I was going to him for advice for like how I could steer certain directions in music, criticism, advice, feedback.
I love Ronnie.
Yeah. That's the homie. And he was one of the few people just in the city who I would see at the time consistently that has a lot of expertise, a lot of advice, a lot of information about the industry in general. Like he done made hella moves. So it was just, I'm so glad when he said that to me because that gave me that switch.
Okay.
So that's one thing I appreciate about Amani. Like he's not going to tell you what you
want to hear.
Yeah, he's going to tell you what you need to hear.
That's what I want.
Yeah,
that's
so,
what I want.
Hey, I got
might
so
hurt
much
sometime,
respect.
might sting, but that's okay.
Exactly.
I'll take it.
And I let him know, like, hey, let me know what you think about this. And that was before I got, all the advice and all the experience I got now. So that was right before I was dropping music professionally.
Okay.
Like, hey, let me know how I can, do this, do that, woo woo. So, but yeah, hey, shout out to him.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. And what advice would you give to other artists here in Indianapolis? That are trying to come up in this game and make their way.
Don't be too concerned about the typical route. So people will interpret typical from their perspective.
Okay.
A lot of people see typical as, I drop music, I promote, radio,
right?
Radio, couple of shows, tours, you blow up. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So everybody has their own specific formula, but sometimes the next best move is to be open-minded outside of what you thought was your formula. Like, it still surprises me to this day that I really curved the radio route. I didn't go the radio route. So I got a couple of records in Shot to Be Swift, High 963. I got a couple of records on there, but I wasn't too pressed to be on the radio.
Right.
I used to be.
Okay.
But until I got more open-minded around all the possibilities of music, I was like, oh, hold up. Let me experiment a little bit. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. Put a little sauce on it. So, yeah, don't be too caught up in what you feel like is best for you. Because sometimes what's best for you, you got to be a little bit more open-minded to understand that even more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense, man. That makes a lot of sense. Because, I used to say, like and this is another thing that I used to see here and I don't know how much it's still going on now because I'm not, that into the hip hop circle now as I used to be when I was doing it. But then back then it kind of seemed, and I'm not saying this is a fact, I'm just saying that it kind of seemed like they didn't have that Eminem D12.
Okay, I feel you.
Plan or
I feel that.
Togetherness, because and I've always said this is that if there's 5 guys, all 5 of them ain't the same, and they ain't all the greatest.
Yeah,
that's just that. It's just I don't care. It's just how it is. You know what I'm saying? One of them cats or 2 of them cats is different.
True.
And what's going to happen is when you go to a label, they're going to pull them 2 cats. And see, that's when the problem comes in.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
of the three now
That equality.
are like,
Yeah.
But instead of being that way, why not look at it, you know what I'm saying, how, you know what I'm saying, Eminem and D12 did it. You know what I'm saying?
That's real.
They let Eminem go. You know what I mean? Because they knew this is the start. I mean, I know I'm hot. I feel like I'm hot. I think I'm hot. But the truth is,
Yeah.
this is what's gonna happen.
A lot of people avoid that truth.
And I
though.
could be, you know what I mean? I could be upset about that and be a hater. Or I can be like, that's my bro, and push him.
Yeah.
And that's what they did. And what did he do? He turned back around and came and got him.
Got him. Yep.
That's how the game is supposed to go. You know what I mean? No matter what you, and that's not hip hop. That's everything.
Yeah.
It doesn't
That's right.
matter. You know what I mean? That's how we as a people should be.
Yeah.
Period. You know? And so, I mean, I know you've worked with a lot of people. You know what I mean? And I know you've seen both sides of that.
Oh yeah. I sure have.
You know?
It just depends on how people see togetherness.
Okay.
Like I'm the type, you know, I still every now and then I still give one of my homies shout outs. He's been my engineer for like, shout out to Eddie J. He's been my engineer for like 8 or 9 years. Okay. I still show him love and, you know, make sure he gets his.
Yeah.
It's just about how people view equality. Like if you work with me, I make sure you get yours.
Right.
But everybody don't work like that.
Yeah,
and I've
it's
experienced
true.
that too. Like some people, they want to work with you, but they don't want to get your full thing.
Okay.
Some people will reach out to you for information and advice. Some people ain't gonna return advice. Some people would rather just read your message. Boom, that was it. No response. I'm the type, like, I'd rather people be better off than how I started. So it's nothing for me to show genuine love. It's nothing for me to put folks on game and host conferences about, you know, a different way that they never thought about and letting them
And
know
see,
that it's possible.
I
That's what
thought
I'm
that
saying.
was really cool. And that's the reason why when I reached out to you and I asked you, you know what I'm saying, the information about that, because I wanted to turn someone on to that.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why I asked you. I said, well, how much is it?
Yeah.
And you said nothing.
Yeah, for the free.
I'm just telling people how to do it.
Yeah. And I know they hit you like,
Yeah, I'm
Free.
going. Oh. But you do know you can charge for that, right?
Yeah. And I could.
but I got it though. But I
Yeah.
truly got it. I truly
Yeah.
understood why you was doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm the same way. You know what I'm saying? If I see something in you, you know what I mean? And regardless, you know what I'm saying? If I'm doing the same thing, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? If I see you doing something and you good at it,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Then I'll show you love.
exactly.
Ain't no, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe that I can hate this person so much that I destroy everything they got.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
what's the point?
Yeah.
So why would I, you know what I mean? Come on. Just, why not
Yeah.
help them?
But
Because you never know. Hell, they might turn back around and come get you.
But that's not common though, and that's that's the sad reality. Like, you got a lot of people that, and this is one thing I study. You got so many people that they get put on game. They got all this information. They got the expertise. They got the formula. They got everything down to a T. But a lot of people see it as, oh, if I give too much information, it'll take away my shine. Mm-hmm. Now that's when I understand. Okay, you're too egotistical to share. So it's not really common for people to establish certain things, have achievements and this and that. They're there now. And then to double back and say, you know what, I'm going to put y'all up on game. It's not as common. And I want people to know that regardless of what you achieve, if you thought it was impossible, that it's okay to achieve something, get some information, study the game, and bring it back to the people that, you know,
Yeah.
they want to take notes for the free.
Yeah.
You know, it ain't got to cost. True, you could charge, but I mean, just who I am, I ain't gonna charge for you. I just want to let you know that it's possible and you can believe in yourself.
And it's crazy because that's a verse in your song.
Oh yeah,
You say that.
Yeah,
You say that for the free.
for the free.
Hey,
Nah,
you ain't got to pay me nada.
Exactly.
I know the verse, bro.
Just pursue the comma.
Yeah, just pursue the comma. You know what I'm saying? You don't know me
Exactly.
nada. You know what I'm saying? This is this game. There you go.
Yeah.
It's all
so,
good. Do your thing with it.
yeah.
You know?
I want people to be more confident that it's okay to show love.
Yeah.
Showing love isn't expensive.
No. No, it's man. What? Say that again, man.
Showing love ain't expensive.
Y'all been shit. Boy, that was free right there. You should have charged him for that. Really?
Real talk.
man. But what's coming, man? What you got? What you got lined up, man? I know you can't give all the goodies, but you come on.
So I do plan on doing, like, I don't know, you already know Will Smith, summertime. So I plan on doing a huge music video shoot during the summer. So I made a recent collab. There's an artist out in South Bend.
Okay.
Chloe Jane. So it's my record, and it's a fast-paced 90s West Coast type of vibe.
Okay. One made me think about not MC8, but the other one with the perm. Quick.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Quick.
Exactly.
Fast,
so yeah.
West Coast. Yeah.
So the record's already made. I'm gonna go back, tweak a couple of things, but the next big thing, I want everybody. I'm talking about across from Indiana, across from the States. I want everybody to have like this huge block party or something outside, and that'll be like the music video.
Okay.
I want to have videographers. I want to have a photography, and that's just behind the scenes.
Okay.
While the music video is being played, everybody's having a good time. Like,
Well, that's the vibe, that your music gives off.
Yeah. I want people to feel good about themselves.
I told a buddy of mine, I said, man, when I listen to Hollywood, you know what I'm saying? I think I need some scotch and a cigar. You know what I mean? I feel like I should just be like,
that's dope.
Just chilling. That's the feeling, it gives me,
And that's
I
the
like
goal.
That vibe.
That's the goal for me. Like, I want people to feel good about themselves because I feel good about me. Like, we already got so much, you know what I'm saying?
Going on.
Yeah. So, in this, the sad truth, there's not really a positive market for hip hop commercially.
Wow.
When's the last time you went on the radio and said, "Oh, this is real positive for the black people"? So, hey, I want to let folks
Dead
know,
silence.
hey, listen, when you listen to me, you're going to feel good about yourself. You're going to feel like a king. Or you're going to feel, to the women, you're going to feel like a queen. You know what I'm saying? So,
Okay.
yeah, just making sure that it's a vibe.
Whose idea was the video, Hollywood video? All women.
Oh, that was all me. Oh, for sure.
He said, that was on me.
But so the approach I took, I wanted to show just part of like genuine love.
And that was that your birthday also?
Nah, that was before my birthday, but
Okay.
I planned on dropping it on my B-Day.
Okay.
So I planned on showing the black models of Indianapolis love.
Okay.
So you got a whole bunch of like communities out here, and they're all separated. Like you got a model community, you got a poetry community,
Right.
a book community, like so many communities, arts, painters, dance. So I specifically wanted the models to get some shine. So I said, hey, come through. There's gonna be a photo shoot, a music video, got wine, liquor, food. I just want y'all to have fun. It's a vibe.
And that's exactly what it looks like. Everybody's just chilling.
Exactly.
And just enjoying themselves.
Exactly. So it just wanted to show the black miles in Indianapolis some love.
Well, man, you are doing an excellent job at it, brother. You really are, man.
Appreciate it.
Because I've always been big on lyrics. So when you mention Outkast, that was one of my, when I heard, Andre, I said, I got to write like that.
Yeah.
I got to write like that.
Yeah.
I got to make somebody hit rewind.
Yeah.
That's my thing. If you don't hit rewind when you listen to mine, then I didn't do right. That was my thing, and I always wanted to be speaking about something.
Yeah.
And it was a long time before I put a cuss word in my rap.
I feel that.
Because I felt I could do it without it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was almost a challenge to see if I could pull this off and just be as hard as this cat. You know what I mean? Without using it, could I do it? You know what I mean? And that was my, you know what I mean, my thing. You know, I didn't want to use, you know, the cuss words that much. I knew at some point it would come in, you know, and that was more really on my freestyle.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Real talk. Yeah,
you know what I mean? But when I wrote though, I just wanted to see if I could pull it off. You know what I mean?
I feel that.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Man. But yeah, man, what you doing, man, is you right on track, brother.
I appreciate it.
I like it, man. You got to shoot for Empire, bro.
Man, hey, look,
gotta shoot
I
for
just
Empire,
might,
bro.
you know, yeah, I'll put that in the back of my head. All right, let back.
You got to shoot
Bet.
for Empire, bro. Well, man,
Right
tell
on.
us, man, you know what I'm saying, how we can get a hold of you, man. You know what I'm saying? Now,
Sure.
everybody can get a hold of you.
Baby, so Instagram, that's Dead Silence 9. I follow back. Facebook, that's Dead Silence 9MC. And Twitter, Dead Silence _9. I follow back as well. So yeah, hit me up, chop it up with me. I got you.
Okay. And now, do you have any videos coming out soon, or just for the summer?
I'll just be pushing out Hollywood. So yeah, the one for the summer, that's gonna be the next one, and I'm gonna let folks know like it might be around like I'm shooting for May, June.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm gonna let everybody know.
What's it? Could we know the name of the song?
It's gonna be called For Show. Yeah, For Show.
For sure. I like it.
Yeah,
I
and
like it.
It's I ain't gonna lie, like Nate Dogg used to be one of my favorite artists. You know, rest in peace.
Okay.
And yeah, it's like a fast record with a Nate Dogg type of vibe on it. It's smooth.
Okay.
It's smooth.
Okay. Now, you know, and that's a question before we leave. Which one do you vibe with more? East, West, South? Which was your thing?
See, okay. Like my overall vibe, I would have to say West Coast.
Okay.
But when it comes to the grittiness, because I still love bars, I still watch battle rap.
Okay. It's still in there.
Yeah, like it's still there. When it comes to bars, I gotta go to the East Coast. But
Exactly.
when it comes to the vibe, West Coast. So
Okay.
it just depends.
See, man, I always gravitated towards the South.
South.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always
I feel
gravitated
that.
towards the South. I don't know why. I just felt, I don't know, and this might have been a mental thing of, you know, that I thought, well, they already got their thing. And they already got their thing. You know what I'm saying? But these guys are just creating their thing.
Yeah.
And I just felt a better bond with them because we didn't have any, you know what I'm saying? I was from Indianapolis, so we didn't have nothing.
Yeah.
So I just kind of bonded with them because especially what they went through trying to come out and, you know, the East and West, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of shunning them at first, you know what I mean? And I just kind of I just vibe with them, you know what I mean? I
feel
felt like
that.
there was more with me
Yeah.
than the East or the West.
I feel that. Some people make you feel more at
But-
home.
But,
you know what I'm saying?
But don't get me wrong. I mean, I got, you know what I'm saying? I love some Jay.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I
I feel
love
that.
some Dre. I love some Snoop. You know what I mean? Because I'm a lyrics person, so I don't
Yeah.
care where you're from. But if you're talking about something, then I'm listening. You
Exactly.
know what I mean?
Exactly.
So there you go. You know what I mean?
I feel that. Like, hey, you know, this, you know, I like the Snoop Dogs. I still go back to the Rakims, the Big L's, the Big Puns, and, you know, going back A-Ball, you know, MJGs to the, man, just literally everything. It just like you said, if they talking about something,
Yeah.
I'm there.
See, I kind of was mentioned to a friend of mine about your music, and I said he was asking, and I said if I had to say, I would say think of the guru living now. If I had to put you
It's
in
deep.
with someone, with that, you know what I mean, with your melodic tunes, you know what I mean, I guru, you know what I mean, but the way you, but your flow is more future now, you know what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
we had to update guru a little bit, but that's kind of how
Right
I get the
on.
swing from you, you know what I mean, with your music, you know.
I appreciate that.
Ain't
Right
no
on.
thing, you know, ain't no thing, man. You know.
Man, appreciate that.
Well, man, hey, the street lights is on, man, and we gotta go in the house.
I
bro.
feel that. We talk priorities first. You feel what I'm saying?
We on the block, baby. That's what we gotta do. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Well, man, hey, man, it's been a pleasure, man, having you here, dog. And I will make sure that I get, you know what I mean, all your contacts and everything, man, in the descriptions, man, and try to get you, man, some more pub, man, and see, man, if we can make you the big star out of Indianapolis, man.
I appreciate it, man. Real talk. And thank you for the genuine love. We'll
Love,
talk, Jay.
baby.
Much love.
Yes, sir.